They still care about it. There's a lot of people in the community that care about it. So we're looking for someone to come forward, tell us what exactly happened that night.
It was a case that rocked Will County 50 years ago. A 15-year-old girl missing until her body is found months later in an outhouse.
In tonight's special report, our Elizabeth Matthews has new information in this cold case.
15-year-old Christine Meadors was a sophomore at Lockport High School with no history of trouble.
So Christine, from all accounts, was a pretty nice girl, very popular. She was on the homecoming court.
In 1973, Christine and her family lived on this quiet street in Homer Township. Investigators say on the night of November 4th, Christine was at home talking to her boyfriend on the phone, and around 10:30 that night, her mother told her to go to bed.
They realized the next morning her father, at the time, was a over-the-road truck driver, and he was returning back home. At 5:30 in the morning, he came in, and when they discovered that Christine was missing.
According to police, her father noticed a window by the front door was removed, and the door was unlocked. The only thing missing from the house, a small amount of money from a purse. Her parents also found Christine's bedroom door locked and her bedroom window opened from the outside. Police noted that the phone line to her bedroom had been cut.
There was no real leads into the case, and I think that's why it went pretty cold pretty quick on the initial missing persons.
Sergeant Mike Ernest with the Will County Sheriff's Department started digging into this cold case 3 years ago. That's when they received another tip.
It was kind of surprising, to be honest with you. And there was information in that tip that had names that were never previously talked about.
Since then, Ernest and his partner have been conducting interviews in state and out of state, looking for a break in the case.
Probably interviewed close to 100 people on this case. I would say a decent amount of people that we talked to were not initially interviewed.
Investigators got their first big break 5 months after Christine disappeared. It happened in Messenger Woods.
At the time, Messenger Woods, there was an old entrance off of Parker Road, which was in Homer Township. And I guess kids used to go back there and party and drink or do drugs.
In April of 1974, a mother hiking in Messenger Woods with her kids stopped to use an outhouse. As she looked around, she thought she saw something disturbing inside.
She didn't actually even report it that day. She didn't know what she saw, so she went back home, told her husband. They're like, I think there might be something in this outhouse.
Police were called the next day, and Christine's body was found.
No one ends up at the bottom of a cesspool at an outhouse without being put in there.
Ernest showed us this diagram of the crime scene and says he believes several people are involved in Christine's death, not just one.
I would say at this point we're looking for multiple people because of the fact that the seats in the outhouse, it would have taken a couple people to lift those physically up on the hinges, and then another person to physically place somebody's body into the bottom of the cesspool of the outhouse.
Ernest adds the offenders who killed Christine are likely people she knew. He describes them as being older than her by about 7 to 10 years, and that her death was not random.
She would have known them through acquaintances and friends at school and neighbors.
Surprisingly, no autopsy was done after Christine's body was found in the spring of '74.
At that time, for whatever reason, the coroner office and the pathologist at the time did not do an autopsy on Christine's body. Mainly, I believe, due to the fact that it was deteriorated too much.
An autopsy was eventually performed in 1979 when investigators had her body exhumed.
When they did the autopsy, they still determined it undetermined, but they had another cause on there as asphyxiation, so that tells me that she was in there breathing and ended up suffocating in the outhouse itself.
As the investigation continued, there were rumors of witchcraft or supernatural based on the shirt Christine was found in. It had what appeared to be various religious symbols, but police say that ultimately was a dead end as well.
The only thing I can tell you about what she was wearing, I'll tell you this, it was a very cold night. It was about 25, 26 degrees based on historical weather. She had no shoes on when she was found, no coat on when she was found, and that shirt that you can see there, so that's not a very warm shirt to be out in 25-degree weather. A lot of people that we've interviewed always kind of say that she overdosed or was given something to cause her to overdose. They panicked and put her in the outhouse to conceal her because they didn't want to get in trouble.
In his mind, Ernest believes the case is solved. Whether or not it can be charged is another matter.
Right now, I'm looking for anyone that has any, even third-hand knowledge, but first-hand knowledge of anything that can help us out. I believe there are suspects still alive, and I believe they know what happened. It's been 50 years. At the end of the day, what we want is closure for the family.
If you have information regarding this case, you can contact Sergeant Ernest at the information listed on your screen. You can also report a tip anonymously on the website for the Will County Sheriff's Office and at Will County Crime Stoppers. Elizabeth Matthews, Fox 32, Chicago.